You are looking live at a still frame shot of one of NASCAR's most beloved track, the Iowa Speedway, where tonight we do more than just race. Tonight, we honor a man that meant so much to so many of us. Welcome to On MDK's coverage of the PFC Tate Spier 200, live from the Iowa Speedway in Newton, Iowa, as we get set and ready for the third to last race of Season 2 of the Core League. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a pretty laggy edition of Core on MDK. We're going to get you set and ready for the 2020 PFC Tate Spier 200 from the Iowa Speedway. Joining me, of course, as always, for this impromptu pre-race show is none other than, actually, he is technically a former winner here. Hey, let me introduce you.
Yes.
Okay, fine. I mean, I was going to introduce you properly, but all right.
Okay, I was just agreeing. Sorry, continue.
Okay,
Go
the
ahead.
2019 Summer Showdown champion from right here at Iowa Speedway, Cody Workman. And Cody, I noticed that you were very focused. What are you doing right now?
Yes, I'm focused. So here's the thing. Little bit of a shameless plug here. So once again, I'm pulling double duty tonight. And for those who don't know, I am in the Midnight Broadcasting Network Pocono Raceway Cup Series. And we got the semifinal round of the playoffs here, and I did not get as much testing as I like. So I am multitasking, but yet I am still devoted to Core just as much as Pocono Raceway Cup Series. So, as a shameless plug, I am multitasking, and as much as I'm trying to push the car right now, I'm about ready to run off fuel here. I'm able to multitask. So consider this an impromptu version of Workman's World.
Okay, well, you have fun doing that. First of all, I just want to say I know Griffin Spier, he's watching in the chat. Sorry if I mispronounce your last name, but I want to thank him for help putting this all together, not only with the Summer Showdown, but also helping sponsor this event to honor your brother, Griffin. Thank you so much for it, and hopefully we could put on a great race for you and your family in honor of your brother. Let's move on to now a more lighter subject. 3 races remaining in the chase for the Core League Championship, and it's now down to only 4 drivers in contention, and that is Brian Pasternak, Joey Stone, Davin Cornelius, and Darren Gilliam. 91 points separates between the 4 drivers, but it's more than likely going to be between Joey Stone and Brian Pasternak. 18 points separates between the two as a result of what happened last Tuesday at Fontana when Joey Stone was battling for the race lead, made contact, and spun, battling for the race lead with contact from Darren Gilliam. That dropped him from 1st or 2nd, I believe, to maybe 7th or 8th. So, 5th place on back. They are no longer in contention. Michael Cosi Jr., Littell, Lombard, who's not participating in this race today. Cody Hicken, Rusty Walrus, and Trey Normal at the top 10. Jake Baskinger, Michael Marutz, 11th and 12th. 13th is Diego Alvarado. 14th is Dale Reynolds. 15th is Ed Soundhead. Ray Jacobs in 16th. Ryan Labonte 17th. And Daniel Baldwin in the 18th spot. Now let's take a look now at our entry list for Iowa. 11 drivers racing today. Michael Cosi Jr., Brian Pasternak, Ed Soundhead, Joey Stone, Brendan Littell, Darren Gilliam, Cody Hicken, Jake Baskinger, Rusty Walrus, Davin Cornelius, and Ryan Labonte. 6 Chevrolets and 5 Fords make up the 11-car field. So, 1 driver, and Cody, I know you have a strong relationship with this driver. We are going there. Of course,
we are going here.
We cannot.
Okay,
leave
I cannot drive. I cannot drive and talk about this. So.
We cannot, go through Iowa without talking about what happened last year in July between you and Joey Stone. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to give you the floor.
Oh, okay. Well, first off, I think everyone to this point knows what happens. Let's just say when there is $200 on the line for the winner of the race, and guys are racing as hard as they did for a number of laps, things like that happen. So long story short, me and Joey both battling hard for 20, 30, 40 laps straight, by the way. It wasn't like, we were spread out and we were literally going back and forth on this bumper, throwing blocks, doing all that stuff. And yours truly did not get the signal that said Joey Stone was pitting, and I launched him into pit road and made him speed, and there's a little retaliation on his part, which was, now that we look back on it, we laugh about it, and you probably had a right to be mad, but it was a little bit scary because, I was out there. I was nowhere near this popular or well-known by that point, so I'm just trying to go out there, make a name for myself, and then after that happened, I feel like Sloppy Nation is going to kick my butt for ruining his race. They're like, oh dear, this ain't gonna be good. So ended up winning the race though. So and it's one of my local tracks too. I actually only live about 3 hours away from Iowa Speedway, so I
Nice,
pass it all the
nice.
way time on the interstate. So yeah, it was cool to win at that track. Cool to win it, and then just for the amount that I think it's really fitting that Griffin Spier is sponsoring this race tonight in honor of his brother. Not just because of the whole family aspect of it, but just for the fact that he is the one that put together the Summer Showdown last year at Iowa, which is where that was at. So hopefully we can create some more. We can create some more happy thoughts,
Yeah.
more happy, paint some little happy little memories with tonight's race at Iowa.
Uh,
And
yeah.
yeah,
I just want to say right now, qualifying has just wrapped up. WinVal, your pole winner. Second place is the A car Joey Stone. Third is DriveThrough. Fourth is What If. Fifth place is Rusty Walrus. Sixth is Jake Baskinger. Nice one for him. Seventh is Ed Soundhead. Eighth is Darren Gilliam. Ninth is Brendan Littell. 10th is Cody Hicken. And rounding out the field is Carnation. So he will race today. We will have 11 cars fully racing here tonight. Kind of surprising. A nice run for him. Jake Baskinger, 6th place on the grid.
yeah. And I mean, too, like, Iowa, it's not an easy racetrack. So something to think about, yes, we ran this track in the summer showdown last year, but two things. One, that was on Heat 3. Iowa, with the switch to Heat 4, Iowa is one of the tracks that drove totally different night and day compared to the Heat 3 series. And then we were in Xfinity cars then. We couldn't, bring Cup cars to there. And so now these guys are on Cup cars. So with that being said, we're going to see guys have to back up their corners a lot more than the Xfinity cars. And also, when they get that gas down, when they're coming off those corners, that back end is going to want to slide out pretty early, and you're going to be using up those right side tires, especially those rear tires.
Oh, yeah.
So look for guys. They're going to try to make their moves early on the bottom, but you're going to start seeing guys migrate towards the top. This is a fun two-groove racetrack.
For sure it will be. All right. So we just get the invite. We're going to head out momentarily to the racetrack to begin or to go racing here at Iowa. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to say our picks. Shoot.
Yeah. All right.
Hurry.
Yeah, we still got that. Okay, I know I told you earlier about a certain individual. That's because I was practicing at the track that I thought we were going to for PRCS. So when I told you what I picked for was wrong. But rough racetrack, going to be all about drivability. Let's see, I'm not going to pick this guy because I picked him last week. WhatiFRacing. He had a great car, and he
All right, well,
yeah, he
okay,
finished
green flag.
second place.
Green flag in the air. We're racing here at Iowa.
Yeah, I'm still jumping in.
Off turn 4 to lead the first lap of the race will be Michael Cosi Jr. And the double zero car. And looking in second place is DriveThrough. Right now, as you can see on your screen, not only are we going to have our ticker that tells you the lap or the lap colors and racing conditions, we also have on a third layer that shows the point settings from the top 4 as they enter. This is not up to date, but this is just a little reminder to let you know how these drivers are doing as they enter into Homestead. Right now on the charge is the 77 car DriveThrough to the outside. Entering 3, trying to take the lead away from Cosi Jr. off 4. He's going to lead this lap. Second place is DriveThrough. Third is Joey Stone. And then he got a scramble position for 4th place. Brian Pasternak and Ed Soundhead moves them to the top 5 as Brian hits the wall. That is going to allow a 3-wide battle entering 3 with Darren Gilliam, I should say, and Rusty Walrus.
Oh, baby, that's not going to end up well. It looks like I think that Soundhead flew up in front of that 59 car of Walrus, but oh boy, yep, there we go, 3 wide.
And Soundhead on the outside.
like we talked about too, we have a lot of guys now starting to migrate. For a split second, I got to say this real quick because for a split second, so we all know how Carnation is our adopted Cars fan. So
Yes.
I'm looking at there goes Soundhead.
Soundhead in the wall.
He's really loose, and there he goes.
Into the wall he goes. Does not hit any other cars. Keeps it going straight. No caution.
Anyway, as I was saying, yeah. So we're looking on those colors of the 25 car. That is not what Incarnation, our favorite Cars fan. That is Darian Gillum. So it threw me off a little bit because he's usually in that black and gray and gold car this usually, but he's in red and yellow. So what about Darian? He's actually not doing too terrible, sitting fourth right now, and we got a battle for second.
Yes, Joey's on the inside of DriveThrough. As you can see, their position second and third, I should say, entering this race. A huge points gap between the two. Joey has the advantage in the middle, 3 and 4. Washes up the racetrack.
Oh, he got shut. That's very treacherous for Joey because right about where he was at, he was right on that seam between the bottom lane and the top lane. And if you hit that seam, it's like the aprons in previous heat games. You hit that wrong, and it will just spin you right around. So
now DriveThrough to the inside.
You're going to try to crossover right here.
DriveThrough holds second place for long, but the 8-car Joey Stone's going to get a huge run. Now dives down to the inside of DriveThrough, once again entering 3 and 4. And all this does is just helping the 00 car get away from these drivers.
He's just checked out as well. Think about it earlier. Our 2 other short tracks of the season, Martinsville and what was it? Richmond. Like Michael Cassie, he literally just checked out from the rest of the field, and it's like same thing tonight that we were seeing as well from those previous 2 races. That right now no one's really competing with him, and as much as these 2 are going side by side with each other, that's just allowing that 00 to pull away.
Let's see if we can find some other battles. Look at this battle. That's for 4th. Darian, Rusty, and Brian Pasternak, 4th to 6th, I should say. Kind of surprising to see that the 1 car has not made its way through the field and hasn't caught up to the 8 car of Joey Stone yet.
Yeah, but also I don't think he's in that big of a hurry because right now, as we've seen in most of these races, that 8 car has been up there leading laps for many of these races. And so, with that being said, a little contact between Rusty and Darian. Darian looked like he tried to shove it in there, but like I said, yeah, he's going to capitalize on these 2 making that mistake right there. But
contact again.
He doesn't really have to be that aggressive right now because in the past we've always seen that 8 car up there leading laps, and as we've well documented, you get bonus points for not just leading a lap but for the most laps. So we've always seen that 1 car push the issue, try to get up there, get that lead to keep that 8 car out of the lead. With that 00 of Kasi being up there, and Darian, he gets loose.
And, big time loose, going to fall way back to 10th place.
I think he hit that seam that we were talking about earlier, and when you hit that, it just sends your right rear right around. Like, if that right rear catches that seam, you better just hold on for dear life, because there's not much that you can really do to save that car.
Tough break for Darian. Falls from 3rd to 10th. In 1 turn, just
and that's Soundhead in the back. He just hit the same seam as well. He was able to save it.
And I think also the 38 car, Jake Baskinger, because the 25 car's caught up to him right on the back bumper. He is of Jake Baskinger.
And some we got a report as well. It looks like the 95 car of WhatiFRacing has backed out of the race.
Wow.
First race in a while, but unfortunately was only able to turn in about 8 or 9 laps.
That's the first time he's competed in the Core League since Talladega. Tough break for him.
Legit, you talk about that 1 car, and here he is. He's closing in on the back bumper of that 8, and he seems to have a pretty decent middle run car at least. We're going to see a lot of comer and goers here in this race, just with how drastically these cars can change the route of run. Much like our other short tracks that we had, Richmond and Martinsville, these cars, they'd be pretty fast those first 10, 15 laps or so, but once you get to about lap 20, those things, they just want to spin out off exit right when you get back into the gas. So a lot of throttle management, a lot of tire management here. And I think we're going to see the guys who do that the best are going to have these long run speeds.
And this is one thing that I think, as you see the one car Pasternak going down to the inside, you're in Joey Stone's shoes. You know that you have the car capable of not only beating Pasternak for races before a championship, but he's always on your back bumper, and we know how the point settings goes. One position is only where in the wall goes Joey Stone.
Oh dear.
Oh.
He's gonna lose a bunch of spots. Looks like 2, 3, 4,
Did he hit
possibly
that?
5 position.
He might have hit that seam maybe.
I mean, we've seen it all night. That we've seen guys getting really loose. We just saw right there the 22 car of Littell. He got loose right in front of Sloppy off. I'm telling you, Jet, these guys are getting so loose coming off these corners, and it all comes about tire management. He just did it again right there. Was really aggressive getting back in the gas, and also we've seen Sloppy run that outside lane. If you're not running that outside lane properly, it is so easy to burn off those tires, especially off exit, because of how the banking is coming off exit here. These corners, they hit that flat straightaway so quickly that it's hard for your rear tires to hook up, and he's going to probably do it again here. He's going to get passed by this 28 car here as well. I think he's just bringing the rear tires off it.
Man, that's the last thing Joey Stone needed. 18 points he is behind Brian Pasternak. And bit of contact between him and Cody Hicken. Down the back straightaway. Here comes Littell to the inside.
For our leader, Michael Tassi, he's got about a 5-6 second race lead over second place DriveThrough, and I would have picked him earlier, but I felt like I would have been overdoing it because I picked him last week. But man, that 00 car, he has been proved in and week out that whenever we come to these short tracks where tire management is key, he is just able to check out from the rest of the field, and there is literally no one right now who could stand the speeds that he's doing right now. Maybe that one car Pasternak, it'll be interesting to see once we have a restart for stage 2 and stage 3, if he's able to restart up there with that 00, if he can hang in with them. But right now, that 00 car is just a league of his own.
Yeah, and right now, I was just about to say, with Joey, he needs to be able to be ahead of him. Right now, as they stand, Pasternak currently in 3rd place, and, well, maybe he's 2nd. Oh no! DriveThrough got loose, slams to the one car Pasternak. Gonna lose a ton of ground, and here comes Rusty to take advantage of the situation to possibly take 3rd away from Pasternak. Not gonna be able to, though. But
well, I know Pasternak hit the inside wall there and smacked it, but luckily there's no damage. But considering all that, what an amazing job he did to save it. That could have been easily head on into the inside wall, totally spun around, totally off the pace, but he was able to gather it up and still maintain 3rd place. His tires are going to be worn out a bit from that slide.
We just saw the 8
but it could have been a lot worse.
We just saw the 8 and the 22 car go get a bit loose off of 2. A lot of drivers are sliding. Oh no, he gets loose. Littell and Stone hit again. Littell up.
I just want to say, Littell, I would watch it. Littell, buddy, I would not anger that 8 car, especially at this racetrack.
Yeah, you can say that from
just let you
experience.
know. Yes, Littell, please caution me. That's a championship contender. Just let him on by. It's not worth getting into a ruckus this early.
Yeah, right now, I mean, Joey Stone, he has to win this race. Right now, as it stands, Pasternak would have about a 26-point advantage or so on Joey Stone if they were to finish like this, heading to the second to last race at Dover next Tuesday.
I got to think about it too, that, one, Sloppy, he isn't up there leading laps, and also he did not get the pole award points. So with that being said, literally, even if theoretically, I mean, I could totally be wrong when I say this as well, but if Joey Stone were to win the last 3 races of the season, he would still need Pasternak to have some at least a rough race or so.
And something happened with the 25.
Because even if Pasternak, if he were just to finish in the top 3 for the rest of the season, that might be enough just in his stuff to clinch this championship. So Sloppy cannot afford to be running where he is right now. The good news for him, though, is that Pasternak, he is in the 3rd position, may get passed for 4th here by the 25 car of Darian Gillen. Where did he come from?
No,
but yeah, he doesn't need to panic.
I believe Darren, he is a lap down, I should say.
Okay, so yeah, he may have come down for pit road service. I'm not sure. We got to look here too to see what the pit window is. I got no records of that at all, so I apologize for that.
One thing that we also have to consider is the fact that Joey Stone, he is leading the category in most wins. So that's 3 extra points. So with that, if you take that into consideration, he would only be 15 points behind unless Pasternak wins the final 3 races, which I don't think is likely, depending on how Costa Jr.'s performance, as though you see Pasternak going to the inside of DriveThrough for 2nd place, side by side in middle 3 and 4.
Yeah, I think DriveThrough, he may give him the spot right here.
And he will.
Yeah, I think he feels a little bit too bad about what happened off turn 2 summer laps ago. He knows that the one car is a faster car, so he's not going to make much of an issue for him.
Oh, and by the way, folks, I completely forgot about this, but it's the final lap of stage 2, or stage 1, I should say. Let's see if we can find. There he is, and stage 2 just ended. All right.
Put a full straightaway on him, and I will say though, something I want to mention is that he got out to about a 3/4 straightaway lead, but then once Pasternak got rolling, he was able to somewhat maintain that gap between himself and the 00. So yeah, definitely Michael Kossi, fastest car here, but I think that one car can have something to show for it, and if he can restart next to him on this restart, we may have a battle for the lead on our hands.
All right. Well, stage 2, where obviously these drivers are going to come in for pit stops. So we'll see what they can do. How does it look? You think everyone's going to come on a pit road, right?
Oh, these tires! Like literally, I feel like if there is a 5, 6, or 7 lap run and there's a caution, I am coming down and putting 4 tires on this car every single time.
All right. Well, everyone except everyone is coming onto pit road. Coaster on the inside, DriveThrough on the outside. Green flag in stage number 2.
Keep an eye on that one car DriveThrough. He didn't get a good restart. He may try to look to the outside lane here. Nope, he's going to try to split up the middle. But DriveThrough, he's going to go way up outside, and he's going to try to get this run off the corner.
And that's going to allow maybe the one car to get side by side with the 8. Here comes DriveThrough, though, to the outside of Costa Jr. for the lead. 3 wide. Oh, 4 wide, but contact from the 25 car. Darren got into the back end of the 2 car.
DriveThrough right now, he's showing how much speed that outside lane has. And I'm telling you, Jet, that even with these, if we get into a late race restart, just these restarts in general, that outside lane, I would almost say that's the preferred lane on these restarts, because one of just how much more banked that outside lane is, and also you just get an amazing run off these corners. DriveThrough slipped up a little bit right there, but he still keeps pace with the 00.
Single file, first and second, got a side-by-side battle for third. Change of contenders. Pasternak down low, Joey Stone up top. And how about Littell in the 5th spot, hunting.
It's right there. I want to see if that 22 car, if he's made any adjustments. I know he's complaining about being really, really, really loose there off corner exit here at the end of that stage. Saw him in that 8 car get into it a bit. He just smacked the wall right there again, so still struggling a bit. But right now, these top 4, they aren't getting spread out like we saw at the beginning of stage 1. Much more congested here at the front.
But for how long? We saw how dominant the 00 car was. It just got out to a lead in a hurry. Right now, he's starting to slowly build a gap between him and DriveThrough.
It's interesting here to see how long DriveThrough stays right behind that 00, because I think Kossi, he's a little bit better on that inside lane than DriveThrough is, but I would almost try to move up to the top right here. Yep, and he's going to do just that.
And he's
sees that 00 is going to. He sees that 00 is pulling away from him, so trying to try a different line, but he hits the wall and gives up second to Pasternak.
Another driver that hit the wall is the 8 car, Joey Stone. He has hit the wall 3 or 4 times so far in this race.
I think he's getting pretty frustrated. He didn't have the stage 1 that he would have liked to have. He made a mistake, and also think about this: didn't lead a single lap in stage 1. When was the last time that we saw that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think Martinsville was the last time.
He's going to do that again. He just smoked the wall again there on X. I think he's going to need to make some major adjustments, because this top 3 right now are just pulling away from him. Kossi's still the faster car, but now that Pasternak has gotten around DriveThrough, I don't know if he can track him down, but I think he can keep pace.
Nice run to the middle of the corner for DriveThrough. Gets a bit of a run on him. And oh, the 28 car of Cody Hitkin got loose or probably hit the wall of 4.
And from him, this 22 car of Littell is holding Sloppy up. He hit the wall there off corner, exit of 4, and Sloppy ran right into the back of him. So these guys are getting pretty frustrated with each other. These two, they haven't been really good friends so far this race.
Yeah, they had a bit of an incident stage 1 as the 8 car barely tapped the outside wall. Littell now goes high, trying to get the run off the corner to get a bit of a draft from Joey Stone entering 3.
About 6th place car, Rusty Walrus. Like, we saw that at Bristol about a month or so ago that he finished 3rd in that race, and that wasn't off a strategy.
Contact. Oh, contact again.
He said that they're still going there, but I mean, we saw that 59 car that he finished 3rd, and that wasn't because of, guys just wrecking and taking themselves out or some freak strategy. He drove up there and finished in the 3rd position. So Rusty, he's a guy to keep an eye on for these short tracks.
I want to say that Rusty Walrus, now he got into the 22 car, but Littell gave him a little bit of a shot on the right side of Walrus entering 1 as a bit of like, hey, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, look at these two guys too, Jet. Both of these guys, they haven't gotten wins yet. Littell, he was a guy on my radar that I thought could have made underdog championship run. He had some good momentum in the middle of the season, but as of late, he hasn't really had that. So he's probably frustrated himself that he isn't up there like he used to be about a month or so ago, and he's just trying to do all he can to try to maybe get a win at the end of this season. Same with Rusty Walrus. Same situation. A lot of people hyped him up, has not been able to get that win yet, but in recent weeks, he's had speed. So both of these guys, they aren't going to be giving up anything.
As you can see, he's got a different paint scheme for this weekend. He's repping the colors of Iowa. The Iowa is known for its corn making. So he's got the corn colors of green and yellow. Nice little homey style scheme for him.
In fact, Jet, I can't remember if this is my home state of Illinois or the home state of Iowa's fact, but did you know that if you took every single ear of corn and stuck it from end to end, it would be able to reach from the earth to the surface of the moon and back? Little shameless plug in there. I'm sorry. I am a farmer, Jet. I come from a farm family, Jet, so we know these things. We know these facts.
Well, why do you know that?
Because it's important to advertise just how important that corn and agriculture is, and yeah.
Are you being sponsored by Iowa Corn or something like that? Is this what's happening?
No, but we do a lot of business with nutrient ag solutions, so yeah.
Well, for more,
which I am thrilled that they are sponsored that tech car.
And for more corn-related facts, you can head over to Cody Workman. Check out his stream as he's going to be running at 9 p.m. Eastern Time at Michigan, I believe. Was it for the Pocono Raceway Cup Series, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, Pocono Raceway, they've been a great supporter of our series, and so we don't go to Pocono every single week. It's just named after them. But I'm still be hanging around with you guys for about another 25 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna have to bounce out for that. But so far, Jet, I mean, just looking at this race. Talked about that one car. Yes, that 00, he has a lead, but ever since Pasternak has gotten into the second, he's been maintaining that gap.
Maintaining, but can he close? It's been 1.2, now 1.1 for a bit there.
Back in the pack a bit. Looks like Sloppy Joe, he just hit the wall again off exit. His car is not liking that high side, especially when he's getting back into the gas. That back end is just coming around and slapping that wall, and he actually isn't really making all that ground up much on our 5th place driver, Rusty Walrus.
Yeah, I think this is, in my opinion,
his worst. 4th, actually.
I think this is, in my opinion, his worst race so far, and that says a lot. 4th place as your worst start, or 5th place, I believe, as your worst start. That says a lot, just how good of a season Joey Stone has had.
Quite surprising too, Jet, also because we talked about this earlier. Yeah, it was on Heat 3 and not Heat 4, and yes, it was with Xfinity cars, but still, me and Sloppy, when we were in the Summer Showdown together, us two, while battling each other, were pulling away from the rest of the field. And in my opinion, I feel like Sloppy, he's done a lot better this season on Heat 4 than Heat 3. So I am really, really surprised to see how much that he's struggling at this point.
Right now, meanwhile, back up front, when Michael Kosey Jr. crossed the start-finish line, it will be 10 laps to go in stage number 2. He has about a 1.1, 1.2 second gap between him and the one car of Brian Pasternak. Third place is DriveThrough. Fourth is Rusty Walrus. And rounding up the top 5 is Joey Stone. Oh, spin! In the middle off of 2, it's Ed Soundhead. Keeps it going. No
At
caution.
the same time, too, Sloppy slap. Ah, how about that for the tongue twister? Sloppy slap the wall going into turn 3. Wow, his car is just a mess right now.
I need to put some major adjustments on that car. Luckily, we do have a caution coming up in about 9 laps.
Pretty sure he's going to be using 8 tires here after pit stop.
Well, with that, could we see maybe some strategies? You see Joey go way up. Could we see some strategy from any of the drivers possibly? This is going a bit ahead. Maybe when we get not a caution, but when we go do our pit road services near the end of stage 3, could we expect maybe some strategy? Could we see drivers maybe go 2 tires? Or hell, maybe go 0?
Jet, if you take anything but 4 tires, I am personally gonna come down onto that racetrack and launch the drivers up over the wall into that cornfield. Because there is no reason why guys should be taking anything but 4 tires at these points. We've seen how much these guys have been sliding around this track off exit. This place eats up tires like mad. And even if we get to a late race scenario, we have multiple cautions and we have about a couple, so maybe 7-8 lap runs. Yeah, I'm just coming down and take 4 tires every single time. That's how valuable this place is for tires.
All right, well, it was just a suggestion.
A dumb suggestion, yeah. No offense. I'm just saying that, like,
well, we need stuff to talk about.
The suggestion itself. That suggestion itself. There's no way.
Well, we're trying to find stuff to talk about here. Okay, pretty strong outfield right now.
As America's crew chief Larry Mack would say, "Give me 4, and I am not leaving this pit box until you give me 4."
All right, well, 5 laps to go now in stage number 2 for Michael Kosey Jr. And for some reason, it's always when we come to these worn-out short tracks that the 00 car seems to shine. Well, I don't think you can really count Martinsville as a worn-out track, but Martinsville dominated. I think won all 3 stages. Richmond dominated, won all 3 stages. Actually, I think he lost stage 2, but I could be wrong about that. And now at Iowa, 7/8 of a mile racetrack, worn out, eats those tires up. Surprise, he's dominating.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all either. Like Pasternak, we will say though that Pasternak seems to be one of the only guys that can keep up pace with him. But as the past couple of laps, I think Pasternak just tried seeing what he could do, tried pushing that car a little bit too hard early because these last few laps he's just starting to fall off that 00. But I think he pushed it that hard, knowing that there is a caution coming up, and he just knows how hard he can push that car.
Off turn 4, 2 laps to go.
Quick update on our top 5. Looks like Sloppy Joe, he was able to get around the 59 car of Rusty Walrus, and they've actually been able to pull away from him for quite a bit. So starting to get that car somewhat under control, but still going to be making a lot of adjustments.
Absolutely. I mean, because his main objective is to at least be ahead of Brian Pasternak. The one thing he cannot afford is to be behind him in any race. White flag, 1 lap to go. In stage number 2 here at Iowa Speedway, Michael Kosey Jr. leads the way. He's got a 1.5 second lead ahead of second place driver Brian Pasternak, who is the points leader. Had an 18-point gap ahead of Joey Stone coming into this race. So far is looking good right now, as off turn number 4, Michael Kosey Jr. wins stage number 2 here at Iowa. Second place is Brian Pasternak. Third is DriveThrough.
Those last few laps, yeah, those top 2, they put an absolute gap over first place DriveThrough and the 4th place car of Sloppy Joe. So these 2 cars, pretty fast out front. At the end of the last stage, Pasternak, he didn't have a good pit stop, restarted in fourth. If he can restart on that outside lane here, look for him to take the lead.
It's going to be interesting to see here what's going to happen in stage number 3. We're going to kick off with 69, I believe, laps to go when we take the green flag for the final stage of the race. Alright, so let's see. Do you think anyone, Cody, is gonna have the opportunity to challenge Michael Kosey Jr.?
It's gonna be that one car, a Pasternak. Well, we will see that 00. He's led every single lap, and yep, there we go. Yeah. He's in the prime position right now. Take this lead. If Pasternak can get a good run this outside, he's gonna be able to take this lead going on the 3.
All right. Well, Michael Kosey Jr. on the inside, Brian Pasternak on the outside. Restart. Oh, a little bit of a lag there for Brian Pasternak. So far, everything remains as well. Rusty Waller's in the middle now, going to lose some spots. He's got DriveThrough to the inside of him, but a contact there off of 2. As Kosey Jr. has the lead entering 3, but Brian, he's putting up a fight on that outside lane off 4.
I'm really surprised. I am really surprised. Pasternak, he's on the outside. He didn't use that high outside lane, though. He could have used that as a good opportunity to get that thing wound up. But here comes the 59 car just sending it.
And washes up the racetrack. Doesn't hit anyone, but battling now for 3rd with Joey Stone to the outside lane. And here comes Darren to the inside, maybe 3 wide. That's for 3rd. Contact. Oh
no.
More contact.
Oh, Sloppy coming down. He's not happy right now. Wow, I hate to bring up last week, but remember that 25 car, he sent it on the bottom 3 wide at Auto Club, and who was the person that suffered the most out of that? Sloppy Joe. So once again, Darian diving it down low, Sloppy Joe into the outside wall. He's not going to be happy with that 25 car.
And contact again. Meanwhile, back up front, the 1 car is still there to the inside for the lead. This is the first time anyone has ever challenged Kosey Jr. for the race lead.
While he's trying to go around him, Sloppy, he's got to be aggressive and getting around this 3rd place car, because as soon as that 1 car Pasternak takes the lead, he's going to start wrapping up those laps led. Something to talk about with Kosey leading every single lap so far tonight. There has not been any of those championship contenders who have wrapped up a bonus point for leading a lap. So
that's true.
Keep that in mind too.
Wants to be at least one of those 4 still in contention to at least have 1 bonus point for leading lap. He is still there, surprisingly.
Yeah, he's got to drive pretty hard here. I think he's got to hurry up and get around this 00 car, because that Kosey, he has been absolutely flawless when it comes to the long runs. Hasn't hit the apron, hasn't hit the seams, haven't even hit the outside wall at all. His lines have been flawless. So with that being said, Pasternak, he's got to get around him right now before his long run car gets hooked in.
Maybe it's because of the wheel. And then the wall of the 22 car, Littell, holds up the 28 and the 59 car. Or not the 59 car, I believe that's the 28 car and the 38 car, I should say. It looks like the 0 car is starting to build a gap. And the 1 car just clipped the apron just a bit. It's going to lose some momentum off 4. That's going to open up the gap even more between him and the 00 car.
I can't afford to have that, especially with that 8 car. Now that he's cleared the traffic, he's trying to track him down, but he hasn't really made up all that much room, I don't think. Maybe a car length or so, but he hasn't been able to track that top 2 down.
The gap is now 0.4.5 tenths of a second. It was originally 2 to 3 tenths before he clipped that apron. So while it hasn't hindered him severely, he did lose some ground.
Other players started to come back into the mix. We talked about him a little bit in stage 1, not much in stage 2, but DriveThrough, he's trying to put some pressure on the back bumper of that 8 car. Even though mathematically he's still in contention, but he's going to need a miracle for it to happen to have a chance at this championship. DriveThrough, he's one of our other contenders as well. So, I mean, don't count him out yet. It's going to be pretty far-fetched. But still, he's, put as much pressure as he can on that 8.
And see now, take a look now at the point standings. DriveThrough came into this race 60 points behind. And, probably hit the wall way down low. 58 laps remaining here in the PFC Tate Spier 200 here at the Iowa Speedway, the third to last race of Season 2 of the Core League. It has been the Michael Kosey Jr. show. The Double Zero car has led every lap so far in this race, and he's now starting to build a gap between him and the one car. 0.7 of a second was the last time by at the stripe.
Another factor, too, to think about as well is that we just crossed halfway a couple laps ago, and with that Double Zero car being out front, unless we get a bunch of green-white checkers or whatnot, Kasi, he has racked up the most laps led as well, so that's another point that is unavailable to these championship contenders.
Well, that might be bad for drive for position second or fourth. That's probably good for Brian, because now they can find a way to gain an advantage on him.
Yeah, definitely. And the way I think of it, too, is that, Sloppy, he's behind. Kind of ironic he's in the 8 car, but he's behind the 8 ball at this point. Oh, wow. DriveThrough, he pulled the slide job right there, and I think it was clear. I think Sloppy, he just tried to overdrill the corner exit there, trying to keep next to DriveThrough. But yeah, that's just, if you're Sloppy Joe, you're thinking, dang, that is one less point that's available now. So literally the only bonus points that are, these guys, they still have bonus points that are available to them. None of them have led a lap, which means that they still have the opportunity to get a bonus point for a lap led. But the way we're seeing right now, I think the only guy that's going to have an opportunity to get around that Double Zero is the one car.
Right now, even he cannot really put up much of a fight. Gap is nearly now up to 1 second. The only way I could see the 8 car of Joey Stone or the 1 car Pasternak getting at least 1 point is through pit strategy. Or maybe if Kosey Jr. comes on the pit road and one of them stays out for just one more lap to get at least 1 point. Because every point matters as we count our way down to Atlanta.
Definitely. I think what we see at least Pasternak do is that, yeah, these guys are going to have to make just one green flag pit stop. All I see Pasternak doing is just staying out 1 lap longer, just so he can lead 1 lap to get that extra bonus point, and then we'll see him come down pit road immediately after that. And then we may see Sloppy stay out 1 lap after Pasternak does as well. So, yeah, I think that's what we're going to probably see here as we get closer to green flag pit stops.
There's a battle for the 6th position here. Darren on the outside. Cody Hicken now into the mix. And the 22 car of Littell. Littell drives it in hard out of 4. Darren's going to get the run. Pretty good battle there for 6th place.
Hicken's has kind of had quite a quiet day to this point. He's kind of been right in that 7th, 8th place spot the majority of this race. He's battled with quite a few people, but he just hasn't been able to get around out of that 8th position.
So really, this is the only battle that is going on. And Littell clears Darren, but Darren's got to run. Ooh, it looked like he was trying to make a 3 wide there, but Cody Hicken was to his inside.
3 wide here off this corner. Oh, baby, that's going to be tight. Yep. Oh, Darian's a smart move by him to back out of that here. No reason to make that 3 wide just yet. Still a lot of racing to go.
Keeping it close, though, on that outside lane. Put up a fight. But it looks like Cody Hicken will now take 2 spots up to 6th. And now he's going to bring the 2 car Soundhead into the mix now.
Going back up front here, it looks like Kotze, he is once again started to open up that lead a bit. Has about the same gap that we saw last stage, but at this point, these top 2, once again, they are starting to drive away from the rest of the field at this point. DriveThrough, he actually has a decent amount of speed in his car as well, but just nowhere near the speed that these top 2 have. So these top 4 right now, probably 4 of the best cars of the entire season at this point. And Jet, I kind of say it's a shame because Kasi, he hasn't really ran that many races compared to the majority of the Core League field. He's missed about, maybe half a dozen to this point. Mm-hmm. And he was sitting 5th in points. Yeah, so this Double Zero car is the biggest the biggest what might have been to this point of the season, because he's had fast cars, race winning contention practically every single week. If I was Sloppy Joe and Brian Pasternak, I would be very lucky, considering that Double Zero car has not been running full time this year.
Yeah, he came into his race 97 points behind, especially when you need to consider what truck we're going to next week. Another track, hard on tires, Dover. And if he were to have run the full season, I think more than likely he would have been in contention for this championship. And we head to a track like Dover that's very hard on the tires. You really need to sort of pace yourself to the end. If he goes out there and wins this race and dominates next week, if he was in every single race, he could have been a major contender for sure.
Someone want to think about too. He has 2 wins at this point, right? And then
Yes.
Sloppy, he has 6 wins on the year.
Yes.
So when thinking about that, no, there's not going to be enough races too. But and I'm pretty sure Sloppy is probably happy about that as well. But if Winbow is out here winning these races too, that takes away the opportunity for Pasternak to have an opportunity to get the majority of the wins at this point. So with Pasternak now, he has 3 wins to his credit on the year, and we got a great battle for 3rd place going on right now. What a crossover by Sloppy Joe.
Got by 77 car of DriveThrough.
I think that 8 car, he's done playing around to this point. He needs to get up there and get as many positions as possible.
All right, well.
I mean, and here's the thing as well, is that, yeah, Sloppy is in 3rd, but the guy who's trying to run down in points is sitting in front of him. So he can literally, Sloppy, he cannot, having Pasternak finish in front of Sloppy for these last 2 races is not an option for him if he wants to win this championship.
Okay, well, it's about, I want to say, 41 laps to go here in Iowa. And I feel like this would be a perfect time for us to shut our mouths and let the engines do the talking. What do you say?
Especially because I got to go here in a little bit. So I want my favorite segment before I have to leave town.
All right, for Cody, let's go hardcore Iowa edition. Alright, you see when we were going hardcore, the 1 car Brian Pasternak pitting, as well as a 77 of DriveThrough as the 1
I think
car.
okay.
Right,
I think that's all right. I think that's all right. 1 car is already in his box.
Okay, that's
and so
good.
he's going to get out here in a little bit.
Again, you know with how pit road is on this game.
Hey, quick, I want to mention, though, is that Sloppy, he did stay out to lead that 1 lap, so he's got that 1 extra bonus point to his credit.
All right, so
and now he's down making cover now, but practically the entire field has made their pit stops at this point.
So now the question is, where will the 00 car be? because Pasternak, he's out. He's already out. You see the
Yeah,
double zero car?
He came in a lap sooner, and then also while we were in hardcore,
There
he
he
started
is.
to cut them down.
There he is. All right,
It's going to be really close right here.
Double zero car will be ahead, but oh wow, he has closed in that gap.
He is there right now, but Kasi, he does have 1 lap fresher tires now, so Pasternak, he closed ground, definitely, but just not enough. I think he needed to either come in a lap earlier or for Kasi to stay out a lap longer to make that work.
Yeah, because remember, Pasternak, he has not led a lap so far, so at least, regardless of where everything stands, Joey Stone will get at least 1 point of an advantage, depending on if they finish nose to tail. Right now, the racer has just pitted. Sorry to cut you off there. The racer has just pitted, so this will be for the lead once everything cycles through.
Something I want to mention too is literally once Pasternak hit pit road, the entire field hit pit road. He came down pit road, then we saw the 59, the 77, the 2 car. They all came down pit road, and everyone had completed their service within about 3 laps.
31. When they come across the line, it'll be 30 laps ago. The 1 car Pasternak, he's about 4 to 5 tenths behind Michael Costa Jr. Jake Baskinger is your race leader right now, but he has not made his pit stop yet, so he will have to come in.
Pit road right now.
Oh, well, as I say that. All right, then. There he is on pit road.
So Littell made his stop as well, so everyone has pitted to this point.
And now we have cycled back through. The gap was 7 tenths before pit stops. After pit stops, it is now 5 tenths.
I think another change that happened as well is that DriveThrough, he came and pitted the same lap as Pasternak. Sloppy Joe, he stayed out 3 laps longer than Pasternak and DriveThrough. Oh, we just smacked the wall there right again.
The 8 car?
Terrible. Yeah, terrible line right there by the 8 car of Sloppy Joe. But with Sloppy staying out 3 laps longer, he was ahead of that 77 car. Look how much ground he lost. It's over half a straightaway to this point.
That 8 car, he is just pushing it way too hard in this race. He has hit the wall so many times at the same place also.
Yeah, well, if I was Sloppy right now, seeing that second place outside, I would just worry about maintaining the gap to this point. You know, right now, yeah, he has that bonus point, and if he can just finish 1 spot behind Pasternak, yeah, it still won't be good, but you got to think about damage control at this point. I mean, 18 points over 2 races, you know, it's still doable, but with that being said, he's going to need to have Pasternak to have a bad race. But with that being said, he can't think about that right now. He's just got to think about getting the best finish possible.
Right now, he is in 4th place, I want to say. And Pasternak is in 2nd, so he will get the gap will be, I think Brian will gain at least 3 points ahead of Joey Stone. So more than likely the gap will be maybe 21 or around that range if everything stands.
To go back to our leader as well, Kasi, he has started to open up that gap just a little bit, make it about just under 1 second to this point. But really good day for Pasternak. He started in the back a little bit, but he was able to make his way through traffic easily there in stage 1, and that's put him in position for the remainder of this race to at least have a chance at this win.
24 laps to go here in the PFC Tate Spier 200 at Iowa Speedway. I believe, and I could be wrong, Michael Costa Jr. has led all but, 1 or 2 laps, and that was led by Joey Stone. The gap is now up to 1.1, but we saw it last time before pit stops came through. That last round of pit stops, Costa Jr. opened up the gap, but then slowly but surely, Brian started to close it back in. So possibly we could see Brian have that long run car to maybe put up a last effort to try and chase down that double zero car who has been just flat out dominant in this race here today. When they come off turn number 4, it'll be 21 to go. Here's the battle for position. This is for 4th, the 8 car of Joey Stone and the 59 car of Rusty Walrus. Then you got Cody Hicken there lingering in the background.
Yep.
So you can find some other battles here in the field. Right now it's pretty strung out, but you see lap traffic up ahead. A 00 car, we can just get our cameras on here. He's got the 2 car, I believe, in his sights. Alright, so yeah, he's
Another guy that's made up some ground on that 8 car. Look at this 59 car of Rusty Walrus. How about this? Great top 5 run for him. And he had great, we've seen him as of late, had great speed, and he also had that 3rd place run at Bristol, another short track to on the schedule. So not a win for him, but once again, this is the Rusty Walrus I think that most of us were waiting to see for this season. And we didn't really see that first half of the year, but this second half he's done a lot better. So great run for him so far.
Yeah, solid run into the top 5 and closing in on the 8 car of Joey Stone.
Really surprising too, because Joey, he has 3 lap fresher tires on that 59 car. So I am really surprised to see how poorly this 8 car is running right now.
17 or 16 and a half laps to go here at Iowa. And also, one thing, as you see a battle here for position, the 59 car to the inside of Joey Stone, and entering 1, he takes the 4th position away.
It was a power move too on the straightaway. Had a great run off the corner. Sloppy, he tried a crossover right there.
Gonna try on the high lane.
He's not gonna be able to do it.
Nope. We'll
Oh, Rusty, he hit the apron just a little bit. Oh, but Sloppy's gonna hit the wall again.
And that's probably gonna seal the deal for Joey Stone possibly getting a 4th place finish, unless something major happens. Joey gets a nice run through 1 and 2. Back again to the outside lane of Rusty entering 3.
Just the speed hasn't been there for that 8 car, and also he just made a lot of mistakes. And honestly, he's kind of all the guys running tonight, he's kind of been making the most mistakes out of anybody as far as where it comes to slamming the wall off exit and things like that.
And it couldn't come at a worse time. I mean, it's okay if you do this the 3rd race, but when you got 3 to go and you're behind in the championship, you can.
Rusty got a little bit loose right there.
And here,
a little bit of contact.
Joey now back to the inside. Rusty shuts the door on him as they come across start-finish line, entering 1. Single file, but now Joey up top. Rusty down low. Joey's going to cut down low. Get a good run through 3 and for 1 and 2, I should say. Now back to his outside for 4th.
And we can't stress this enough. Sloppy, he has got to get this position. Every single position is 1 point. He's going to hit the wall right there again. Rusty doing a great job holding this 8 car off.
Do you think Joey's only going to try and maybe move Rusty for 4th? We've seen him be very aggressive.
Oh, I wouldn't put it past Sloppy to do anything at this point. I think though is that his aggression has at times caused him to make some mistakes, and I think some of that aggression, him getting a little bit maybe worried about trying to make up that points gap, he's kind of made a few mistakes that have been completely uncharacteristic.
You know,
and another guy that's closing in too, Cody H.
Yeah.
Sitting in the 6th position. He's tracking down that 8 car.
Yeah, nice. Very quiet day for Cody. He was sitting around near the back end of the field for majority of the race, but now he's slowly making his way up to the front. Currently in 6th place right now, is within striking distance of 5th and 4th.
We want to go back to our leader right here. Just got about 11, make that 10 laps to go. And something that we haven't seen Kosky encounter the entire race so far tonight. Lap traffic. Yep. And if he gets up there, and I think he will before this race is over, that's going to provide that 1 car past him to try to close in on him.
One thing that he does not like is the fact that the 22 and the 2, they are battling for 10th place right there. That's the last thing he wants, is those 2 drivers battling hard about side by side, because all that does is halt the 00 car's process.
And he's going to catch him with right here within this next lap or so. And I'm hoping that as much as these guys are battling, fighting for position, that these guys will be courteous and let these leaders out of the way.
Hopefully right now they just noticed that, probably they have noticed that, hey, there's the leaders behind you, maybe move out of the way, or if you're going to battle, get over your battle quickly so that you don't cause any more issues. I think, example, oh, he just hit the wall at start finish. I like what we saw last weekend. Could be wrong, but we saw lap traffic sort of halt the one car's process for a bit when he was a race leader during lap traffic. Or that was 1 or 2 weeks ago. You could be wrong.
I think so. Yeah, at Soundhead, he did a great job staying high, letting that 00 pass.
Now Littell,
I believe at this point we got 6 laps to go.
yeah, Littell is gonna be more, actually gonna be a lot lenient. I thought he was gonna try and maybe at least keep up with the 00 car, but it looks like he's been entering high a lot. Now it goes to the middle.
Okasi, he hit the apron right there a little bit. I think that's the only mistake that he's made so far to this point. And that 2 car, even though he's a lapper, that still messes with you as a racer. Even if just the mere presence of having another car around you when you're being consistent, hitting your lines like Kasi has been doing all night, that still gets you. And to think about it as well, Kasi, he's led every single lap to this point, which means that he hasn't had to pass cars. So
No.
10 laps ago, but lap traffic, this is the first time that we're seeing Kasi have to make passes.
Yeah, 4 laps to go right now, entering turns 1 and 2. The gap has closed in just a bit, now 1.1 now, but as Cozy just hit the wall again.
A quick update back for our 4th position. Sloppy, he caught up to Rusty, but he hit the wall again coming off exit. They've both driven away from Cody H to this point, so now these two are going to be being able to battle for this 4th spot with 4 to go. Coming to 3.
3 to go right now here at Iowa. It has been absolute domination so far for the 00 car of Michael Cosi Jr. Right now he's trying to get by through lap traffic. It has closing up the gap just a bit, now to 9/10 of a second as it comes across start finish line for 2 to go.
So like he has closed it here. I think if that was just 22 right now, I would just get it out of the way at this point. Pat Bassinger, he did a great job lifting there. He's going to let that 22 close in on him. But oh no, Littell, he's getting side by side. This is the last thing Pasternak needs right now.
But that is the one thing that Coach Jr. wants to see. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. Sponsored by Black Flags Matter here at Iowa.
Give it away just yet. If Kasi makes a mistake right here, Pasternak is down there to pounce.
Well, looks like he's going to get by without any sort of issues off turn number 4. It's going to be the 00 car of Michael Costa Jr. scores his 3rd victory. Here in the Core League, he wins the 2020 PFC Tate Spier 200 here at Iowa. 2nd place is Brian Pasternak. 3rd is DriveThrough.
Comes Walrus and Sloppy Joe off the final corner. Sloppy not going to do it. Hits the wall again. Sloppy gets 5th, and Walrus, another great run for him, 4th place.
6th is Cody H Gaming. 7th is Darren Gilliam. 8th is Brendan Littell. 9th is Soundhead. 10th is Jake Baskinger, and Ryan Labonzi. One Incarnation rounds out the field in 11th. Wow. So, Cody, I know you have to go, but
I gotta go.
Any final thoughts before you go?
Great race. I know some guys may think it was kind of boring seeing the dominant car out there leading every single lap and winning, but still, we couldn't give it away until just the very end. Great job.
All right, so we'll let you go, Cody. Good luck on your race at Michigan in the Pocono Raceway Cup Series.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
All right, yes, next week, the penultimate race of the Season 2 edition of the Core League will go to the Monster Mile, the Dover International Speedway. For the Blue Jimmy 48 fan dash at Dover. I could be completely wrong. I have to take a look at what the race sponsor actually is. Congratulations to WinVal. He is your winner tonight here at Iowa in the PFC Tate Spier 200. Once again, thank you to Griffin Spier for putting this all together, not only from the Summer Showdown last year, but here tonight. It has been an honor to call this race to honor your brother. Nothing really much else to say. It was a great day for WhatiFRacing. He finished second, gained at least 3 to 4 points on his competitor Joey Stone, who had a very odd night tonight, was just not there, hitting the wall almost every lap, pushing the car too hard, would end up in 5th. Nice run for Rusty Walrus, quiet 4th place run for him, as well as Cody H Gaming, a 6th place effort for him here tonight. By the way, the race victory was fueled by Unloaded Cube 88. Don't have the logo here, but there it is. We can show it right now on the screen. Better late than never. But yes, until next time, my name is Jack Ross from NASCAR, from Core on MDK. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next Tuesday at Dover.